Yo, what's up, good people? How y'all doing? It's your man, Ted Says. And Ted Says it's a beautiful day to be alive, to be happy, to be healthy, and continue to grow wealthy and wise, and build success on a strong foundation of failures. Yo, today I want to talk to y'all like real briefly. It's a beautiful day outside. I mean, man, the sun is shining. It's warm. Man, I'm relaxed. And I just felt like I just need to come clean and be honest with y'all about a lot of things. A lot of y'all do not know me who are watching, and I really appreciate y'all paying attention to me, those who do. My real name is Valente Estrada, born in Chicago, only child, raised by a single parent. My mother, she gave me a lot of attention when I was younger, and kind of helped mold me to be the person I am today. She gave me a lot of good philosophy that just told me and showed me how to become a better person in life, right? Of course, I had to experience life on my own and, go through some of my own things and shit like that. But, over the course of time, I came to realize my mother was a very wise woman because she was taught and they were taught and they were taught, up until they got to me, right? So anyway, my video today is to let y'all know about, how I became who I am and why do I record the videos I record and everything like that. And basically it's because, I've been through a lot of shit in my life. Everything was going good up until a certain point in time. And, life just treats you a certain kind of way, and it's all about how you deal with it. One thing for sure, to live on planet Earth, we all had to pay a tuition, and that tuition is called struggle. But struggle can be good. It shows, our fortitude. It shows our strength. It shows that we're worthy and deserving to have things that we want to have. And usually, how society is today, people feel entitled. Only thing we are entitled to is that which we create for ourselves. We don't create people, we create situations. And so everything's, done by the law of cause and effect, which is presently called the law of attraction. And so with that being said, I just want to let y'all know that how I became this so-called life coach, it was always in me. It's never not been inside of me. It was just something, it was a latent gift I had, I guess. I don't consider myself a life coach. I call myself personally an architect of human excellence. Basically what that means is that, I listen to people and I help them to draw a blueprint for themselves that takes them from average to A+, so they can break their present rules so they can have major breakthroughs. And with that being said, I recognize that, we all have things that are limiting us, but what makes us better and what makes us go forward is the desire to have a better life than what we're presently leading. And everybody wants to have a better life. So with that being said, how I became this person was due to some struggles I went through. And that struggle was kind of molded me. And it all started in late 2003 to early 2004. I did some real estate deals with a less than savory individual. But those real estate deals that went so awry are the things that actually helped me to become the person I am today. So I'm kind of thankful for that. I couldn't see it then, but I definitely see it now. 2004, I purchased 3 properties that total up to $805,000. My net worth shot all the way up, but net worth means nothing when you don't have the know-how. And so I didn't know anything about real estate, so stupid me, right? Invested in things I don't know about. Lesson learned. My mother used to always say, there's no sense like bought sense. And I paid for that lesson. So I paid $805,000 plus a whole lot more time and depression because of that. And so as a result, what happened was I fell into a depression at the feeling of being hustled. People getting away with what they got away with, all the people who conspired against me. To get that little $805,000, it must have been so worth it, Today I tell people, they capped out at 805. I can make infinite off of that now. So with that being said, I got $805,000 in debt. Before these real estate transactions, I was kind of riding high in life. 28, 29, you know, everything seemed like it was going right. I told my mother, oh, life is easy, you know, you just gotta make it the way you make it, you know. But silly me, you know, young and dumb. But anyway, so what I did was I lost confidence in myself. I lost the ability to trust me at that point. I just lost a lot. I lost a lot of confidence. I lost, you know, so much about who I thought I was at that point in time in my life. And what I recognized, I was good. I had to shed that old skin so I could become a new me. And so what happened was after losing $805,000, I lost the ability to trust myself. And so what happened was I ended up you know, like building this wall for me to live in. And I like separated myself and isolated myself from society and, you know, all the beautiful things in life. You know, like I wasn't going outside as much. Like, you know, I'm a avid fan of house music. I love to dance. I stopped doing that. I stopped going to poetry sets. I was a spoken word artist. I was a photographer. You know, I was like really living life. Excuse me, all these bugs around me. I was really living life and enjoying it. And so, you know, when life, you know, throws you a curveball, which we're never prepared for, you know, you tend to think that, you know, it's gonna always be that way forever, and that's not true. So anyway, I made some decisions that kind of cut me off, and you know, then I end up paying for them, and, you know, just being depressed about life, and it's never a good feeling. So anyway, I ended up going to Egypt. I spent, you know, some time out there to, like, you know, get my head together. I had to file for bankruptcy. Came back from Egypt determined to help people, you know. But how am I going to help people when I'm not helping myself, right? You know, it's like you got to be congruent in life. That's something I've definitely learned. You have to be congruent with your thoughts, your actions, your intentions, you know, and you got to be congruent with your beliefs about you. So anyway, I come back from Egypt. I joined this organization. This is when I discovered I had the ability to communicate with people, right? I was one of the leaders of this organization, and so the leaders didn't come through. They were supposed to teach a class, and so the people in the audience were looking. They were looking at me, eyeballing me, like, okay, you're here, you're just gonna let us sit here? And so I was like, okay, let me get up here and say something to y'all, you know. So anyway, I got up, I started talking, and something just naturally clicked on in me. I felt like I never felt that feeling before. It was so natural. And so that feeling is like, I always wanted to feel that again. So by doing that, I raised my standard up to like always become a speaker. And this is when I developed the ability to, you know, like help people and become better people and be better servants, as I became a better servant to humanity. And so what happened was I was riding high again, you know, not so much financially, but I was riding high as far as, you know, my personal life. You know, I had a radio show with my guy Zoe. I got this new gig, you know, I was working with children, and it was like feeling real good and everything. And I went to this thing I was invited to this place called Landmark Forum. Landmark Forum is a place where people can go to learn how to, you know, do what my tagline is, to, you know, break their present rules so they got major breakthroughs, right? Except that's not their tagline. So anyway, I did that. And it was the first time I expressed to a stranger that I had these issues that I never talked about the real estate, you know, about not believing in me and everything like that. And so they was really understanding. They like helped me to, like, you know, like charge through and break that wall I was living inside of, right? And so then I went and told my moms about what happened, my experience, and I was like, yo, moms, I'm about to jump back out here. I'm about to do this real estate thing again. I'm not gonna fail this time. I'm about to make it happen, right? So then she said, okay, well, I'm gonna roll with you. So I said, cool. So then a couple of weeks later, you know, I get a phone call. I'm at the job working with the little boys and everything. And I got a phone call that says, hey, your mom's just had a heart attack. You need to come to the hospital, you know. So I was like, she had a heart attack? I'm like, I just talked to her not too long ago. So anyway, I shoot to the hospital, find out my mother passes June 3rd, 2008. So this started the decline in my life again. So that decline led me to depression. It led me to jumping from crib to crib. It led me to, you know, breaking a woman's heart who I was really, really feeling. It led me to just, you know, in some real dark places in my life, and life just was not forgiving to me at that point. So what happened was I ended up jumping from my auntie's house, jumping from auntie house to a cousin house to another cousin house to live with my man Dave. And so I was staying in a room in the basement of Dave's house. So the room couldn't have been no more than probably about 100 square feet. And so outside of the room where the rest of the basement was at, you know, the dog lived there, and the dog had more room to roam around on the outside of the room than I had on the inside. So it was amazing, like, you know, right before, you know, like maybe a few years before that, like maybe about 2 years before that, I reconnected one of my best friends, Dina. And so Dina said, you know what, Tez, like, Dina used to always call me and, you know, ask me for advice on things. And she's like, you got a real unique perspective on life. And so she was like, you know what you are? I said, what? She's like, you're a life coach. I'm like, what the hell is a life coach? Because I'd never heard this term before. I was so cut off. And so she was like, you know, a life coach, you know, someone who gives people advice to help them, you know, break through, you know, get them from here to here. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, well, I do that naturally. It's nothing that I really think is valuable. It's just something I do. I just have conversations with people, and this is what we do. So anyway, from that conversation, I started looking up life coaches on the internet, and the first person you see is Tony Robbins, right? So I looked up Tony Robbins' net worth, and his net worth was $500 million. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, really? I'm like, man, I am doing the wrong thing in life if his net worth is $500 million, right? Now, of course, I was focused on money because why? I was broke. So being broke makes you focus on money, right? So anyway, fast forward back to Dave's basement. So I'm down in the basement. I'm depressed. You know, I'm isolated from my family. Things not going right. I'm broke. And I mean, I'm having great conversations with people. I don't know how to monetize this whole life coaching thing. So anyway, I go through a period of 14 days. That's 1 and a 4 after it. 14 days straight, no food. And I was just in so much turmoil as a result of that. And so I gotta go and get like some Link, something I never thought I would ever do in life. So I go down to the Link office, and this is probably the epiphany of epiphanies that I ever had. And so I'm at the Link office. I'm already embarrassed because I'm there. I never thought I'd be there at this part of my life. And so a woman calls me by a name that only my family refers to me as. So you know how young I had to have been for her to refer to me by that. So anyway, I'm like, oh my goodness, someone here knows me. And so she sits down next to me. She said, do you remember me? And I said, no, I don't. And she's like, I was your neighbor when you lived on such and such, such and such. You was on the 3rd floor, I was on the 1st floor. And then I instantly remembered, and I went back. And so she was steady talking to me, but I wasn't hearing anymore. And so I go back, and I'm like, oh snap, I remember what my mother used to say about her. And so my mother told me that she was smoking crack, she was whoring, and she was an alcoholic. 3 things I've never done. I've never had any drugs, never had a smoke, never had any of that. Doesn't make me better than her. I just never had done any of these things before. So the epiphany that I had was, wow, her and I in the exact same spot at the exact same time, attempting to get the exact same thing. So I was like, look, you know what? I'm messing up in life. I got to change. And so what I did, I left there with the Link card, of course. Oh, of course, I was berated as hell, you know, trying to get the money. The lady who became the person looking after my folder and everything, oh, she was trying to coax me into, you know, arguing with her so she would not give me this money. But I went 14 days without eating. I'm like, I'm getting this money. So anyway, but I don't like handouts, you know, first of all, I despise handouts. So anyway, what happens is I leave there, and I made it my mission to make my life better, because obviously if her and I are in the same spot, I've been doing a lot of the same things outside of her, smoking crack, whoring, and becoming an alcoholic. Our habits had to have been the exact same thing. So anyway, leave there, inspired to become a better person. So what I did was I took the time to like study, and I studied like Napoleon Hill's The Law of Success, which became Think and Grow Rich. I studied like Zig Ziglar, I studied Jim Rohn, I studied Tony Robbins, I studied Les Brown, I studied all these people. I read and read and read, and what I recognized was everything that was going wrong with me was a product of me not having developed character. I was lacking in a lot of areas of my life. And that's what I noticed with a lot of people that I work with. It's just part of our character development that's just not there. And so we can't have things unless the character has been worked upon. Everything we suffer is because we do not have the character to push us through to get to the world, to the way in the world we want to live in for ourselves. So anyway, I started developing my character, and in the process, I joined this life coaching class. Me and Dina did that. I became, quote unquote, one of the top students in the life coaching class. It doesn't matter. A shout out to Rita Stewart. Thank you for your support. And my life started to turn around. I was around people who wanted to make their lives better, so it kind of like spilled over. And because I was around the same energy of everybody who wanted to make their life better, so your life does get better like that. So always remember, surround yourself with people who are doing the exact same thing you're doing, because it'll always keep you encouraged. So anyway, I felt like my life was like getting better. I felt the shift happening, and so I felt real confident in myself. At the time I was single, and I felt like, you know what, I'm gonna try to talk to this one sister I've been looking at for a while. So anyway, she had invited me to a birthday party of hers, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna make my move tonight. My little swag was up, so I made my move, talked to her. We started, talking and everything, communicating, see how we can make it official. I told her from jump, look, I don't have my own car, I don't have my own crib, I'm on Link, I'm broke. I just let her know. I just let her know from jump what my situation was, and so she was cool with it initially. So anyway, fast forward past that, and she had went to a wedding, and she wanted to have a conversation shortly after that. And I was like, she called me like, hey, we need to talk. And I'm like, anytime a woman tell me we need to talk, that means it must be serious, and I'm about to hear some shit, right? So anyway, she tells me we need to talk. And so she tells me she went to the wedding, and so it kind of inspired her to think about her and I. So I'm like, okay, cool. And so we start chatting, and she was like, I'm kind of concerned about your financial situation. I said, well, there's nothing for you to be concerned about because it's mine, it's not yours. And so she was like, well, we're talking about moving forward. And I said, yeah, we are talking about moving forward, but yet and still, I can't move forward with you per se because I don't have the money, that requires to be in a full-fledged relationship right now. And so, I thought that would suffice. I thought that answer would suffice. We were just talking. And so, anyway, I guess that was not the answer she was looking for, because every time I gave her she asked me a question, I gave her another answer that was kind of like sounding the same. It seemed like it was never enough. So I'm like, okay, I keep saying the same thing. She must have an answer in her head I don't have in mine, because any answer I give her is not satisfying. So I said, you know what, let me get ready to leave, because anything I'm keep giving you the same answer and it's not enough. So obviously, this is not gonna go anywhere. So let me walk away, and then we can revisit this. So I leave, I get home, I get a phone call like maybe 10 minutes after I get home, and this sister is going in on me. I mean, she going all the way the fuck in, right? So she goes in, then the next day she goes to Facebook, she's posting things about me, talking about, implying that, I'm broke and everything. And I'm like, but I told you I'm broke, so you can't embarrass me by telling other people about my situation, because shit, this is my situation. So anyway, after that, she takes it to the next level, and one of my guys called me and said, hey, yo, there's this page on Facebook called The Musings of Broke Dudes. Your girl who you was dealing with, she's one of the co-creators of the page. She's an administrator. I'm like, what? So I go to the page and I see all these black women and some black men. It was so disgusting. They were denigrating people because of their financial situation. And so, of course, I took offense to it. It was humiliating because I'm seeing all these people who, you know, who are living it good in the moment, but yo, it's no guarantee you're gonna live this way tomorrow, so you're gonna kick people when they down. So anyway, it was a humbling moment for me. I never responded to any of it because I felt like if I responded, then she would win, you know, and I felt like I need to take the higher course, you know, take the higher road, because any people who take the higher road are usually the most mature. So I never responded back. And then shortly after that, I got a job working for the local transit company for Chicago. And so my income like increased by like, I went from 0 to like 40 plus, you know, in like a matter of months, you know. And so after that, I was very like focused to like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do in life, you know. I'm gonna like make this turn in my life, and I'm gonna make it happen. So I studied for like 3 years straight, like to make myself a better quote unquote life coach, you know, architect of human excellence. And so I quit working for the transit union, the transit company, after my 3rd year. I set a goal, 3 years I was gonna be there. The 3rd year I was out. And so I've been working for myself for the last 1.5 years. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all and tell you it hasn't been a struggle. Yes, it is a struggle. But I'm gonna tell you this shit right here. Without struggle, you can't get nothing done. Struggle is test the resolve of a human being. Struggle is what makes us who we are. If there is no struggle, you will never know how strong you are. There's a quote that says, a soldier never knows his strength without an enemy. And struggle is the enemy to show just how strong we are, to pull it up out of us. You can't get to where you want to be in life without struggle. Every year we're alive, it gets harder. It gets harder. The more you want, the more you got to prove yourself worthy to have it. And I'm telling you, goddamn it, right now, you got to be deserving, just like I do. It's been a struggle for me, but I tell you this, I'm going to win, and I know you got it in you to win as well. Don't give up. Just don't give in to the temptation of quitting, because quitting guarantees 100%. Quitting has a 100% ratio of 0 success. I promise you that. Keep going. Don't give up. This is your man Ted Says. Y'all just got my biography. I'm still an architect of human excellence. I'm still a business, relationship, and financial consultant. I'm still going to be a best-selling author. I'm still one of the best public speakers that no one has heard of thus far. I'm still going to be one of the best internet marketers, inventors, and entrepreneurs, investors, all of that. And I'm telling you, just because these are my little goals, they seem little to me, but they actually are very huge. I'm the first generation of my family to not have to pick cotton. That means a lot. That means a lot. Since my family been on these shores, I'm the first generation to not have to pick cotton. So I feel like I got a lot to prove, and I'm gonna prove it, damn it. And I know you got a lot to prove as well. So yo, Ted Says, I just gave y'all my biography, right? And I wanna know what y'all think. Leave a comment below. If you like the video, share the video. If you like the video and you think you can, you want to, comment with me and you want to talk to me some more and everything like that, hey, I'm always down to communicate with people. I love talking to people. I love coming up with solutions for people. I love being able to help people break barriers so they could break their present rules so they can have major breakthroughs. Let me tell y'all something real quick about my mission. A lot of people say they want things, but they don't have a mission in front of them to follow. See, this is something I learned. You gotta have your mission, it's gotta be you, and then the money will come. Because see, if you got money in front of you and then the mission is behind you, I'm telling you right now, money has to take direction. Money has to be given orders to. If this was life was the military, money is always gonna be the private last class. I'm gonna tell you why. Because money can't do nothing for itself. Money can't think. Money can't do what you do. So it's always gotta take orders. So You have to put yourself in front of the money and have your mission in front of you. That's the only way you're gonna make it happen. And so my mission is to positively serve, heal, and impact the lives of over 7 billion people, to encourage them to live a life of truth, have a peace of mind, be mature, have self-respect, self-love, and nurture others so they can break down the doors of greatness. And the only way they can break down the doors of greatness is by utilizing that formula that I just gave. Truth, peace of mind, self-respect, self-love, to nurture others. Without that, we cannot do it. And I'm gonna tell you what has to happen normally. We have to be humiliated. We have to have our moment to meet humiliation. Humiliation is what leads us to humility. Humility is what leads us to the truth. The truth is what leads us to a peace of mind. The peace of mind is what gives us the ability to mature. Maturity is what's going to help us learn to have self-respect. Self-respect will teach us how to love ourselves. Loving ourselves will teach us how to nurture others. And when we nurture others, that's when the doors of greatness are upon us. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, that formula is working for me. I never go a day without living my mission. Never. And I'm gonna tell you right now, don't go a day without living yours. Find your mission, find what you're good at, find what you're great at, and then become iconic, become unstoppable. Don't never not do your mission, because your mission is you. It's how you define yourself. It's how everybody else is gonna define you as well. And when you're living your mission, I guarantee you, the money's gonna come. Right now, I'm going through a struggle, but so what? My mission still goes first. I gotta do this. I'm gonna shoot more YouTube videos. I'm gonna shoot more videos on Instagram, the whole nine. But I had to shoot this video to let y'all know who I am and why I'm about the things I'm about. So yo, Ted Says, thank you for listening. Leave a comment. Hit me up if you think you need some assistance. I'm here to help everybody. I said 7 billion people. That's who I said I want to reach. I'm going to reach it, damn it. So, yo, hit me up, like, share, comment. Appreciate y'all very much. I'm out of here. Deuces.